everybody. Good to see you. Who's here? Who's here? Who's here? Let me say hi while we're all getting squared away. Of course, we are members only today. Let's see. Who do we got? Lena's in the house. Awesome. We got Auntie Leah. What's going on? Hey, everyone. Hit the like button as you come in. I'm going to. Oh, I'm sorry, Auntie Leah. I didn't even bother to check your schedule. But we all know, as soon as we get done here, everybody get on over there to Auntie Leah's porch. I wish I had checked. I'm sorry, I wasn't even thinking. I've had so much going on. I get oh, look at Auntie Lee. You just man, I swear to God, you're one of the best moms ever. Okay, we have Keisha in the house. Hey, we have Nicole, Never Your Angel, Kiki Eyes, that pretty girl. Janine is here. We got Kat here. Delicia, Janine Taylor, of course. Okay. Who else? Who else? Who else? Y'all have been talkative. Hey, Rachel, what's going on? Golden Aries is in the house. Ahmad. Hmm. Ibrahim. I said, oh, well, hello. I don't think I've seen that name before. Charlene. Oh, Yvonne Wildridge. Cole Lee. Hey, Taylor. All right, we got a few people here. And I was in the middle of doing some stuff and then not doing some stuff and then doing some stuff and then not doing some stuff. And I was looking for, just through a few things trying to get my bearings because I started thinking to myself, like, what is media? Um, what is media really in this day and age? Like, what does that mean, media? And so I wanted to just go over a few things and just little clarifications on this and that. Because honestly, I'm confused. I'm confused just with like 80 million trillion things. I don't get a lot of what people are calling media. And I'm seeing a lot of spying, I'm seeing a lot of worshiping, I'm seeing a lot of what I would call stalking. I'm seeing a lot of things. Speaking of, before we get all the way started, did was anybody paying attention to like the low key propaganda of what was going on behind this Halloween? I don't know if anybody really was paying attention to that. Not saying that nobody was, or you know, um, I have made it a clear, just myself. I'm not participating in Halloween or Halloween activities. You know, I really don't spend a lot of time with a lot of people anymore. I don't hang out like that. I don't. There's a lot of things that I don't do anymore. Look at you. Are you eating ice cream?
No, yogurt.
Oh, I was about to say I should grab some ice cream
Yeah, go get your ice cream.
and then we could just spoon right here live.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one. You have to admit that was a good joke.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Like
yogurt.
like one of my jokes.
Huh?
Nothing. Nothing.
A mess. So anyway, you know what I thought? Why don't we just look up a few definitions just to get a little clarity.
Wait. What one you just talking about what people were dressing up as during Halloween, right?
Yeah, I kind of skipped past that because honestly, I wanted to skip past that, but it's kind of along the same line. So I'm not, yeah. But thank you. Thank you for bringing me back because there was something that I wanted to go back and look at from last year that I think a lot of people didn't pick up on, or maybe we've forgotten. So let's do a little clarification, or should I say a little reminder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yes, it was.
What?
This is exciting. You're officially the new Captain America. And you'll be sorry. Fair use. And this is TikTok. In your own standalone
That was last year.
That's amazing. How does it feel to be Captain America and get your own standalone movie? It's great. I mean, the best part is I get free. He had just got announced for his own, Captain America movie, and he was wearing the Gordon Gartrell shirt. Now, if I want to be pesky, that was for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Jamal Warner was very much so healthy and alive. And yet, he wanted to be Theo Huxtable and wear the Gordon Gartrell shirt on the Jimmy Fall on a Phallus show. Where the musical, uh, the band are people that I knew once upon a time. I remember when Anthony Mackie came to Philadelphia. Giovanni was there. It was actually the last time we went down to the 4th of July when the Roots used to play the 4th of July show, right there in front of the steps of the Art Museum where the Rocky
Mm-hmm.
statue is and all of that. I'll never forget that night. And Anthony Mackie, the Tupac movie, and the Biggie and the Tupac, that movie came out when he played Tupac. And yeah, it was very interesting. It was very interesting. Me and Anthony had an interesting conversation that night on the bus. And then we all stood out there. We were so close to the fireworks. You could feel the gunpowder fall on you. Giovanni was a teenager, a long time ago. But there was something. There was something about it then. And I don't know. I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to get too crazy with it, but can we just do a little? Malcolm Jamal Warner died July 20th, the following summer.
Yeah. So that would be how many days?
I was about to do that. So let's see. We've got
And I'm trying to.
no, I'm about to cheat. And how many days are between October 31st and 07/20? 262.
Okay.
Now you already know what I'm going to do.
Hmm. Yep.
Numerology is numerology. Some people are into it, some people aren't. But there are certain
What's
things that hmm, impossible coincidences, honor of commitment, perfected perfection. Hmm. Queen of Spades. I'll shoot it over to you so you can see. Well, actually, you should be able to look it up yourself. But I find it very interesting. Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's not the right thing. No wonder. Me and my dyslexia. I put in 626, not 262. My dyslexia has been kicking my ass. What was it that I said to you before? What was it? Better diet rather than
hmm
diabetic.
hmm hmm
No, we're not doing cards. We're just looking at the gematria, and gematria is numerology. And there's certain things that happen and come up with that. We actually know someone who's kind of like an expert in it.
hmm
And ooh, the Titanic. It's the first thing that popped up. Interesting. M Hotel. Hmm. Yeah, you need to check it out for yourself. But like there's certain things that in numerology happen. Oh wow, it's all fake. So that you can't really argue it. So it just kind of makes you wonder. Now, this year for Halloween, there were a bunch of celebrities, or if you want to call them celebrities, I'll just call them public figures because to me, the word celebrity it gets thrown around too easy.
What would be considered a celebrity?
Well, I mean, the word celebrity is it comes from the word to celebrate, celebrated, a celebrated person.
Yeah.
And in order for a person to be celebrated, in my opinion, you have to do something that's worth celebration. Like curing cancer, that's worth celebrating.
A person
Saving,
who is widely known and admired for their works in field like entertainment, sports, and is subject of public attention. That's what a celebrity is.
I mean, you could say public figure for all of that. And there's a lot less idol worship involved. But like Taraji's Halloween, I don't know. It kind of weirded me out.
What was Taraji for Halloween?
She did a photo shoot of the different looks of Janet Jackson.
Hmm.
Janet Jackson from the Velvet Rope era, Janet Jackson from Got Till It's Gone video, Janet Jackson. What was I didn't see what Heidi Klum was. I'm telling you, I did not pay a lot of attention to a lot of things. So you're gonna have to tell me. But she was like Janet Jackson. And then come to find out, Tyler Bishop Perry, I'll lay my hands on you and make you twerk in the name of dollars. He is bringing back the franchise. Why Did I Get Married? For a third
Mm-hmm.
installment, and Janet Jackson is not going to be in it. She's being replaced with Taraji P. Henson.
Mm. Mm.
Janet Jackson also turns 60 next year. Kind of strange. Oh,
Speaking of Janet Jackson,
oh, she
Sierra
went.
was Michael Jackson.
I heard, I heard that she decided to
That's
be Michael Jackson. She went as Medusa,
who went as Medusa. Oh yeah, somebody went as Medusa. Yep.
a reptile person, Heidi Klum.
And had real snakes on their head or something. Something. It was crazy.
I, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I would call it paying homage, especially considering how she went over there to Bali and got herself all programmed after she felt as though her career was treating her unfair. She wasn't making no money, and then she went and sat down with Uncle Russell, and they gave her a good talking to, and then she came back, and then all of a sudden she's at the BET Awards, 50 feet tall, talking about the end of love and not needing love and love. With Tiana Taylor pretending to be half an android robot, dancing and pumping and sweating all over the place. Yeah, not Michael Jackson when folks used to call her a Herma. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This takes dedication.
What's that supposed to be?
And Lizzo covered in. I mean, why is her name on Instagram Lizzo be eating? Like,
Because that's what she used to do. She was always online eating.
really?
Yeah. And not
Damn.
performances
Well,
and songs and dancing. Like literally just why do you think when they started coming after her
that
talking about she was a mean girl throwing chicken bones at women, they believed it? Speaking of brother love, didn't his son that was just a very, very, very unfortunate choice for a Halloween costume, in my opinion. I understand you want to make your daddy proud. I understand you miss your daddy, but this was not a good look. It
mm-mm.
was not a good look. It was almost as if, yeah, because I'm standing in the gap for my dad and I'm going to be the diddler until he gets home. Like it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Bad luck. But like I was saying, I just find it funny that everybody's kind of forgetting like these pretending to be Gabrielle Union. It's almost as if they were trying to make celebrities cool again. Because the truth is ever since Diddy got arrested, celebrities don't look so good. Celebrity life
Not at all. Not at all.
and sales have been down.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't been making a lot of money. Tours have been down. Even they little meet and greets and stuff that they do, they streaming numbers have gone down. Like everything went down. So I can understand why there's so many people that have been so angry with me on so many different levels, because I'm one of the main people that's out here calling this crap out for what it is, and being honest. And so it was like this year, there was like a industry memo that went out, and it was, yeah, we gotta celebrate celebrities again. We gotta celebrate celebrities again. Some people were so misguided that they actually thought that showing up as Jackie Kennedy with the red juice splattered all over her pink Chanel suit was a good idea.
That's very tasteless.
Like people actually thought that was a good idea. Um, Even that weirdo Trashy K, apparently she decided to be Krishan Rock carrying a deformed baby around. And
Yeah,
people
that
thought
was
that that was
tasteless as
funny.
hell. Very tasteless.
People thought that that was funny, pretending to be that girl, that very unfortunate girl, and carrying around. Yeah, and people talk, oh my gosh, she's so funny. Yeah, somebody went as Jackie O with the DNA stained clothing from when her husband's brains got, put all over her stuff. I mean, and when I was looking through all of that, it made me think of Anthony Mackie last year, Halloween, wearing that Gordon Gartrell shirt. By the way, Krishan Rock is right now currently being investigated for hiring someone to take out the alleged actual biological father of the baby Junior. And she's also being investigated by CPS finally for abusing their child. And it's so funny because remember last year they was doing all of their weird stuff about me and having a weird Halloween, who can do the best
Mhm.
impersonation of Jaguar,
Mhm.
yada yada yada.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
if this is how they start selecting people for for for
Mhm.
sacrifices, then they must be
Mhm.
very disappointed that I'm still alive.
Mhm.
They must be extremely disappointed that I'm still here. I just found that interesting. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, and especially the whole Taraji P. Henson getting Janet Jackson's role or taking it over. And Why Did I Get Married? And then playing her, and then to the whoop de whoop de woo, and then thinking about Anthony Mackie getting that big Marvel role, and then putting on the Gordon Gartrell on Halloween, and then eh,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying, connecting the dots. It's funny. Blueface is trending. I think he's about to be released, so he's a trending topic right
good for
now
him.
globally.
Good for him. I'm glad he's getting out. There's a lot of other people that I hope get out too.
And there's a whole lot of people I hope don't get out.
But you know what though? It's wild because that brings us back to what I was saying. Just it's this whole celebrity worship culture. They all need to go back out on tour. They all need to make money for the machine. They need to make people forget
Mhm.
everything that they learned. It's like a hard mess to reset. Now that the Diddy trial is over, right? Now that it's over, everything can just go back to normal, right? And I guess that was supposed to be the whole point. So if I go in here and I put in what is the purpose of media, let's see what it says.
Well, let me say something real quick. It's funny.
Sure.
I literally was thinking about what you were saying, and then I thought about well, I didn't even say it was a game, but it was a website called the Hollywood Stock Exchange,
Hmm.
and I used to play it. I forgot. I said, let me log in. I logged in. I'm like $2 million up. I forgot, but yeah, there was a game or there was a thing called the Hollywood Stock Exchange where essentially, you kind of like trade or you would invest in either like movies or particular actors, entertainers, celebrities, right?
Hmm.
Let me see, who am I investing in? You know how long ago this was? This is so long ago. I'm trying to think like who I invested in. I think obviously um yeah, I don't have any orders or nothing like that. I don't have anything, but the how I made my money was seeing who was like the biggest star at the time, what movies they were in, things like that, and then that brings your value up. But that's essentially what the game is. The Hollywood game is. It's the Hollywood Stock Exchanges. It's an entertainment market. People or investors or certain people will bank on certain names. Your name has to be bankable cash. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be able to bring in certain people like you because you know this or that. You know what I'm saying? So that's essentially what this game is. And like you said, ever since COVID, but celebrity names have not been what they were. Not at all. Usually, a celebrity they would put, next to a car, and it could sell. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, you got
No
some people.
more.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking about buying that kind of car. Boom. They used to give the cars to celebrities. In order for them to, like, oh yeah, that person drives this car. I want to be like them. That's how I would say feeble-minded some of these people are. That they just follow celebrity. It's a celebrity worship game.
But see, that's how it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be. It's we show you this now, you do it. We show you this now, buy it. We show you this now,
Hmm.
do it. And they take
Hmm.
these people and they put them on this pedestal. They put them up here on these platforms. Meanwhile, they're being just terribly abused and viciously just
Hmm.
mistreated in real life. Like
Yeah.
this is none of this is good. Let's just be honest. None of it's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is what AI says, the AI overview for the question that I
Hmm.
asked. What is
Hmm.
the purpose of media? And it says the purpose of Western media is multifaceted, encompassing functions like informing the public, holding power accountable as the fourth estate, and shaping narratives to promote certain ideologies or interests. It serves to educate and entertain, but also has been historically used to advance political agendas and influence public opinion, particularly in international affairs.
That's primarily it. That's why the CIA could be so heavily embedded in Hollywood.
Shaping narratives,
Think
shaping
about it.
public opinion. Listen to me. Shaping public opinion, media influences public perception of events, people, and nations by reframing or framing narratives, which can sometimes favor a particular political or ideological stance.
Yeah, think about what Snoop just Mr. Capitulator. I'm done with Snoop. But what did he just capitulate and do? He just talked all kind of crap about the LGBT and the kids and all that. Then all now he's
I
doing
don't know
some
if he
stuff with
talked all
them.
kinds of crap about it, but what he definitely did say was that he didn't appreciate going to the movie with his grandson and having to be forced to to answer questions about
Yeah, yeah.
relationships that he ain't got nothing to do with
The
him. He didn't
the
understand.
the
Welcome, Janine.
the homosas. Yeah.
Well,
So
Gene, he
what
didn't
what
understand.
is
Yeah, the hummus, the
but
homosexuals,
so
and
what so what does that do? Him bringing up that topic. What does it do? It actually brings awareness to that
it creates
agenda.
a conversation. It creates a conversation around it. But that's not what's wild because I remember me and you was talking about it, and then I told you that he was going to apologize. He had to apologize, and you was like, Snoop just said that he's not apologizing for anything he said. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. And now on his doggy land, his
And it's doggy. It's doggy land. Okay.
yeah, well, that's his child's. He's got a kid's cartoon platform called Doggy Land, and now he's got the Love Is Love, and he's doing the Love Is Love, and it's love, and everyone and children are lucky, and the whoop de woo, and everyone should have parents. They should be lucky to have parents no matter what they are, and love is love, and this is that. And he made a little AI. They did the video and made a song and had the whole thing with all different kinds of parents and all the different kinds of parents in it. Even though just 2 months ago he wasn't trying to hear that, and then 6 weeks ago, when they came out and said that he made an apology and he refused to apologize, now all of a sudden he's got a song, and then he's over there at the verses talking crazy, doing his gangster rap. I swear,
Mm-hmm.
he's like an entertainer for all occasions, isn't he?
He
For all
is.
occasions. It seems like the only thing he stand on is that bank account. I guess after Martha Stewart and all of them said that they wasn't banging with him no more because he was talking crazy about the LGBs. I guess the it all
Wait,
just
first off, hold on. Who is Brian
I don't know
Cox?
I don't know if you're a slave, if you're willingly doing what you're doing. Who's who?
What? I just happened to look down at my Hollywood Stock Exchange and I was like, what the heck? I invested in this guy, Brian Cox. He kind of sounds familiar, but
Brian
Brian
Cox.
Cox, yeah, it's an actor, right?
Yeah, I
Um,
believe he's old school.
right. And then this pops up.
Yeah, he was in the show. No, he was a part of the show. Ooh,
This literally popped up. This
not
is
Billions. He wasn't in the show Billions. It was about the billionaires.
let me
Um,
see. Super Troopers. Let me see.
he
It's
was
it, it's got to be a reason why I invested in them.
he's 79 years old
Zodiac.
now. But what was the name of the show that he was
It's the
for?
girl.
Succession. That was it.
Okay. Okay. For whatever
He was in
reason,
Succession.
I decide I'm I invested in him and in Forrest Whitaker. That's it. It made me $2 million. Anyway, yeah, celebrity is nothing but that's what celebrity is, basically. That's what the gist of it is to push certain agendas. That's it.
To push agendas. So, what was Halloween all about then? What was the agenda they
Uh,
were pushing this Halloween? Because this
Terry
Halloween.
Crews. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you were going to say this Halloween. I was going to say, well, Terry Crews was Mr. T. Um, the Ludacris and his woman was who were they? They were somebody, but it was all about uh, other celebrities being celebrities, or past celebrities, people from the past. Yeah,
Hmm. I'm just saying.
interesting.
10 famous people who died on Halloween: Harry Houdini, River Phoenix,
Hmm.
Indira Gandhi. Some interesting names here on this list. River Phoenix, though, that was I forgot that he died on Halloween. I remember when
Right
he
there,
died. That
right
was
there on Sunset.
yeah, that was weird. Federico Fellini. And for those who don't know, Federico Fellini is an Italian film director. Proved that he had a knack for storytelling and transcended transcended language barriers by winning 4 Academy Awards for Best Foreign Film for La Strada, The Nights of Cabrera. What is this? I don't think I've ever seen that movie or even heard of it. Amarcord. Hmm. I don't think I've ever heard. Have you ever heard of that film, Amarcord?
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
And then a film called
mm-mm.
Eight and a Half. Donald. Apparently, he was working with a young Donald Sutherland. Um, somebody. Who is this? There's so many other people. Joseph Pat. Like it's wild how I put that in, and they're being very, 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 very sparse with the names that are on that list, because some of the other names that are on that list is Takeoff from the Migos.
Jay Mizak said Jam Master Jay died. Well, it was the day before Halloween. I remember that. Wasn't that 02, 03? 02.
Wait a minute. No, that was 11/11. And now we have um, Big U's son
Mm-hmm.
also died on Halloween this year. It's kind of weird. I don't think people pay attention to the underlined agendas that people be working in these spiritual realms and the stuff they got going on. Yeah, it was just weird looking at all of those people this year pretending to be other celebrities and doing the stuff that they were doing. Salute Jeannie Taylor. Salute Janine. Let's see. Speaking of pushing agendas, you would be amazed of the spiritual and political and rituals that are pushed during Burning Man. Oh, trust me, I am very much so aware of what goes on during that Burning Man. When you get a chance, I hope you guys do a breakdown. Ah, you know what? We'll definitely keep that in mind. Thank you, Edmund, for bringing that up. But no, I think people get caught up into the parties and the drinks and the candy and the costumes or whatever the case may be, and don't realize that there are some people they're working another agenda, and your participation is bringing fuel to that. This
Yep.
is nothing but inflammatory. Like this is inflammatory.
Mhm.
It's just out of control. So yeah, let's move forward. So we were talking about TMZ, right? And this this uncanny ability for them to just like get all kinds of pictures. I'm just trying to understand, like how do they get all of these pictures?
You want me to speak on it?
Sure,
Because my
please.
my um my my guess. I mean, of course, they have their paparazzi. They have you know, an internal team dedicated to monitoring court documents. And therefore, when you're dealing with courts, you're dealing with bailiffs, sheriffs, you deal with police officers sometimes, or, a lot of times. And when you're in greater confinements, then you could get the drop on, well, what court this person is going to go to if it's a celebrity, if what jail this person is going to go to, yada yada, and that's pretty much probably how they're getting all these pictures. And that's illegal. I don't think legally you could take a picture of anyone in a prison or jail. Like when I did my first documentary, I took a picture of the fence of a jail, and the deputies, the sheriffs, who they came out so quick on me. Woo, made me delete. I mean, I kept. They didn't know I still kept some of the footage, but because they didn't know how to work my camera. But they were like, yeah, legally you can't.
Why
What?
would you admit that?
It's in my documentary. It's in my documentary. It ain't like I didn't, but I didn't do. I deleted what they told me to delete, basically. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. They like, I know you're not now. I know you're not supposed to take pictures of, because they were law. Well, people could use it to escape, and I get it. I was like, okay,
I
no problem.
Googled it. Do you want to hear what they say?
Go ahead.
I asked the Google,
The
and
Google.
yes, the Google, like the Yoda. I asked, is it legal to photograph prisoners in a prison yard?
And what does it say?
Let me pull up this picture. Cause see, that's just not the diddler.
That's a bunch of other ninjas.
Those are other prisoners whose privacy has totally just been invaded. People might know they're in jail. They might not want people to have pictures of them in jail. So let's see. What does it say when I Google, is it legal to photograph prisoners in a prison yard? The answer is no.
Oh,
It is not legal to photograph prisoners in a prison yard because it is against prison policy. And as someone who has spent time not in prison but in county jail, I can tell you right now, no, this is not allowed. This is not allowed at all, because it goes against prison policy, which prohibits unauthorized cameras on prison grounds due to security risks.
yep,
While
exactly.
taking photos in public areas is often a constitutional right, prisoners are private property with specific rules restricting cameras and photography inside.
Is that another picture? It's like multiple pictures, right?
Mm, mm,
And Diddy over there smiling. They talking about he's skinny. He don't look skinny.
mm.
He in there eating good, I guess.
That's a good point. So the question is, how did they get pictures of Ghislaine Maxwell when she was in prison? She could testify against the diddler. Listen to me, honey. Admin. I mean, his ankles is probably skinny. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out. Let's read that one more time while we look at these images here.
Go ahead.
Wait. Let's look at the caption. TMZ catches a snapshot of Diddy with his fellow inmates. Is it legal to photograph prisoners in a prison yard? Yeah, like he knows the camera's there. Why do y'all think I put that on my thumbnail? Smile. No, it is not legal to photograph prisoners in a prison yard because it is against prison policy, which prohibits unauthorized cameras on prison grounds due to security risk. While taking photos in public areas is often a constitutional right, prisons are private property with specific rules restricting cameras and photography inside. Security concerns. Prisons ban cameras in yard areas due to security risk, as photos could reveal layouts, guard posts, or other information that could compromise facility security. Prohibited
Yep.
items. Possession of any camera on prison property is generally prohibited unless specifically authorized by the institution.
Mm-hmm.
Catches a snapshot. They call it a snapshot. Media access. Media organizations must follow strict rules, which may include obtaining written approval from the prisoner and the chief executive before taking any photos. Hey, Sam, I'm Alicia Barnes. I was put in a program by family.
Sorry to
I'm
hear that.
sorry to hear that, Sam. And a lot of the conversation and the language that you just used is not good. It could get my channel flagged.
Yeah.
So we've we see it. I'm just gonna remove. what you had to say to protect the chat and the channel. And what I am going to say is this: there are some organizations that I am aware of. And if you send me an email, I can't guarantee that I'll be able to get to you right away because I have a lot of other stuff going on right now. But if you give me a little time, less than a month, I should be able to put you in touch with someone that might be able to help you. I don't like to make promises or guarantees, but that I can do. And my personal email is just my name, jaguarwright@gmail.com. I'm sorry for your misfortune. And I'm sorry for what happened to you, child. We'll keep you in prayer around here. Thank you, Auntie Leah. Driving to my best
Yeah,
friend.
please,
I
yeah.
love you. Oh, thank you. OW grandbaby, thank you. And it's always good to see you around. So once again, how did they get this picture? Did did they get the authorization? Did everybody sign off on this picture? Because if so, then that means it wouldn't be a snapshot. That means this would be an orchestrated event. It's funny because they keep trying to make it look like, they catching these little glimpses and it's not, I don't know, seems a little strange to me. Seems like, oh yeah, this looks like posing. This looks like a lot to me. So once again, what does that mean about TMZ?
Are they above the law? Because
Are they above
even
the
me
law
being,
or are they the law? Or are they just working for the diddler?
I believe
Because
they are.
like it just said here, you would have to get permission. People would have to sign off. He would have to
Mm-hmm.
agree.
Mm-hmm.
And the authority that's running it, whoever's in control of the prison, would also have to sign off on this.
I'm not even impressed with these jail yard pictures. I would be impressed if they were to produce the actual mugshot. We still have yet to have seen
Yeah.
a mugshot of Sean Combs.
Yeah. No mugshot. Like they got this, but they don't got his actual prison photo for when he checked in.
Where's that? They could easily show that. That would be impressive. I'd be like, oh damn. Somebody hopping the fence or something, or getting a drone, because like somebody said, could potentially be a drone that took this shot. Okay, all
Yeah, but that
right.
would be stupid because it says TMZ captures a snapshot. So then that would mean that it's
Well,
TMZ's drone.
well, a drone, you probably can't fly a drone over the airspace of a
Not without
jail.
it getting
This
shot.
ain't,
Not without it getting shot down.
yeah,
They've had
yeah,
drones that have tried to fly over prisons that have come and that have dropped stuff like DURGS's, firearms, all kinds of stuff.
yeah,
Anytime a drone flies over a prison, they got to take that thing down.
yeah.
I mean, it could be coming from a drone or it could be coming from a prison watchtower.
That part, yeah. That's
Because
likely it.
a prison watchtower, because prisons have watchtowers. You go in there with a nice camera, zoom in,
Or just a
get you a
camera phone,
story.
because you can take your camera phone and
So, I mean, but this is pretty good though. This is pretty good when you look at it. It's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Like a camera phone from up that high, shooting down that low, and zooming in and getting the characters and all that. That I think that's a professional camera.
Mhm.
Because even from a far distance with a camera phone, the pixelation might be off a little bit, the focus might be off a little bit, it might look a little smudgy.
Now you can get somebody can get them a semi decent camera phone with a zoom that won't be pixelated because I mean look at the new iPhones. Those
Yeah, the
cameras.
iPhone could probably do it too.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it could have been, but we don't know. But still, nonetheless, how'd they get it? That's the question.
Like it's funny. And then it came straight to social medias for everybody to pass around.
To let him
How
know,
is this working?
to let everybody know he's all right, I guess, right?
Well, then if he's doing so good, he shouldn't have a problem serving out his whole sentence.
Look like he made friends.
Or was this a Halloween picture? And these all lookalikes. Because there's only two ways they got this picture. They were authorized to do it, which means this whole thing was staged,
Hmm.
which means TMZ is working on behalf of the diddler,
Hmm.
or the authorities should be running up on Harvey Levin and them real soon for them violating prison, protocol and endangering the security of this facility.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still trying to figure out, like, are we the only intelligent people on the internet? And guys, we've been here for almost an hour. It would be great if we could get, what, 300 more likes? Let's get this to 500. Let's let them know that we're here. Like, this doesn't make any sense. And this is the thing, if they're communicating or cooperating with law enforcement and they're working for Diddy, then what does that say about Diddy and law enforcement?
Yeah.
TMZ would also have to get permission from Diddley. Yeah, from the Diddler's lawyers. Yes, he would.
Well,
He
his
would.
attorney, one of his attorneys, allegedly works with TMZ, right? Works for TMZ, right?
Garagos.
Yeah.
Garagos, his daughter, was on the legal team that was in the courtroom. Meanwhile, while they're all sitting there getting all of this information, her father is sitting there, the Two Angry Men's podcast. Hmm. And Mr. Garagos was just, approached by cameras the other day. TMZ cameras, talking about how Diddy is going to
Hmm.
make a full comeback and everything is going to be great and people aren't ready and people they have no idea what's about to happen for Diddy and whoopty whoopty woo and yada yada yada. How they getting these pictures, G? Without permission. Who y'all working for? Why does nobody ask that? They're sitting there talking to the public, dealing with the public, shaping narratives. It's media, influencing conversations here and abroad. So what were they doing during the whole trial? Hmm? Like it should have been anybody other than TMZ pushing out pictures of Diddy in jail. So what they up to? What they doing? And why is nobody else concerned with that? Because it's supposed to be paparazzi, right? Right? They're paparazzi.
Supposedly, but Mm,
That's what they're supposed to be. I
you
mean,
know, it's more to it.
that's interesting, isn't it? It's supposed to be paparazzi, but they doing stuff like this, making Tubi movies about Britney Spears. Now, if this is law enforcement, this is just shameful. If they're involved with law enforcement, this is just shameful.
Now, is this a new documentary?
No, this was from a couple of years ago. Britney Spears slams TMZ over their documentary, this documentary that they put up on Tubi. TMZ, Britney Spears talks nerve damage, trauma. Like they won't leave her alone. You know, it's so funny because a lot of people tend to forget that this is where it all started for her, right here. And part of the reason why we're having this conversation today is because, we want to thank everybody who's come to the channel. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to all the new members. Who were listening to our Britney Spears commentary, discussing everything that's been going on with the release of Kevin Federline's new book. I think people tend to forget that this is where it all started for her. That's Britney Spears. Now Skateer for Disney. For Disney. Oh, sweetheart, I couldn't agree with you more. I think they want her to fall completely apart. She went from here to here damn near overnight. Damn near overnight. TriStar Entertainment needs to go down for what they listen to me. There's a lot of people that need to go down for what happened to Britney Spears. There's a lot of people that need to go down, especially this guy that we got sitting right next to her in jail.
Hmm.
Getting cameo pictures from TMZ.
So TMZ sits here and venerates Diddy, but then you know downs Britney.
Oh yeah.
They 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 can't do a positive story on Britney.
To
It
save their
don't seem
life.
like they'll do it.
To
Say
save
what?
their life. To save their life, they wouldn't do a positive story on Britney Spears. Why? Y'all can do one with him?
They're not touching anything dealing with Rock Nation at all, even though
At
there's
all.
new stuff that comes up every day now. And now with Diddy, it's everything is pro Diddy. Why? That's
And
why?
they were so hot and into going over all of the different lawsuits that Diddy had and 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 clearing him from this and that and talking about the fakes and talking about the frauds. But do you know the one that they haven't touched? I don't think I've ever heard TMZ even speak about this case. Have you?
Mm-mm.
Did TMZ cover? Mm, Derek? Okay, so this is what we have. TMZ, September 10th. And this is right before Diddy got arrested. Now, I don't remember seeing anything about it on YouTube, but Derek did say that he won. Okay. Diddy hit with $100 million default judgment in case with Derek Lee Cardello Smith, September 10th, 2024. They came back 2 days later, September 12th, 2024. Diddy files emergency motion to set aside $100 million judgment. Let's see what they had to say. Shall we?
Yep.
Diddy files motion to set aside $100 million judgment claiming it's BS. Diddy's fighting back against the massive $100 million default judgment leveled against him this week, claiming he never received a copy of the lawsuit. And even if he had, the statute of limitations ran out years ago. Notice how they put even if he had.
Hmm. Even if he had, yeah.
The controversial music mogul filed the emergency motion to set aside the massive judgment Thursday, saying the plaintiff, Derek Lee Cordello Smith, never served him with a lawsuit and he didn't know he had to handle the matter until news outlets started reporting on the judgment. Worth
Hmm.
noting, Diddy's lawyers aren't just trying to get the case thrown out for failing to serve properly. They're denying all wrongdoing wholeheartedly. They say the facially implausible allegations are completely fabricated. Even if the allegations were true, if it's all false and it's all fabricated, why would you need to write that next statement? Even if the allegations were true, which again, Diddy's lawyers say they aren't, they say that the statute of limitation ran out nearly 17 years ago. Diddy's team also slamming the lawsuit as frivolous because they say no man who filed. I'm sorry, because they're saying the man who filed it is a convicted rapist who is lying about all of the allegations in the lawsuit. They also claim he has a history of filing lawsuits that courts have labeled as frivolous. Cordello Smith was awarded $100 million from a judge after Diddy failed to respond to the complaint Cordello Smith filed in June. This is 2024. This is after the raid. This is after Cassie. After that tape came out May 17th, 2024. Cordello Smith claims back in 1997, he and Diddy were having yum yum with a group of women. We're gonna call it yum yum.
Hmm.
That's what we're gonna call it. Cordello Smith back in 1997, he and Diddy were having yum yum with a group of women when he felt Diddy's hand touch his backside. He claims Diddy later spiked his drink, and when he awoke, Diddy implied he'd raped Mr. Cordello Smith. The judge set up a payment schedule, 10 million a month beginning October 1st. And this would have been of last year. Oh, that's it.
Mm.
That's it. That's the end of it. That's the end of the article. That's You want to know what's interesting? There's a lot more to that story than that, isn't it? They got some
Yep.
of the details. Some of the details line up with what Derek said. The only difference is hmm, they're saying that Diddy wasn't properly served. They're saying it was all lies. They're saying it was this. They're saying it was that. I mean, they came back with this story almost right away. The judgment came out on the 10th, and then this article came out on the 12th, and Diddy was arrested, allegedly arrested on the 16th, even though we didn't see the perp walk. You remember that? It took days before they showed him being taken into custody in that hotel room. But no booking, no nothing.
Yep.
But I just find it interesting how they said that none of this is true because Derek was a liar and a rapist. You want to know the one thing that they didn't mention anything about?
What's that?
The demise of the man who he was charged with second degree red rum. They didn't say anything about that, did they?
Nope.
They left that part out. I wonder why. Let's see. Is there anything else? Are there any other articles? Oh, that was fast. Diddy went to jail. Allegedly, he was arrested and taken into jail on the 16th of September. Diddy scores legal win. Let's take a look at that. This is all TMZ. Diddy judge throws out $100 million judgment in battle with Michigan inmate, September 18th. Diddy got a small reason to smile despite being behind bars in federal custody. A judge just set aside the $100 million default judgment in his Michigan sexual or SA lawsuit. The embattled rapper, embattled, the language that they use. The embattled rapper scored the legal win during a motion hearing Wednesday, where one of his attorneys, David Fink, convinced the judge to set aside. David Fink!
Mm.
Ooh, Mr. Fink. Now, what I find interesting is there's some things that we've heard about Mr. Fink, aren't there?
Yeah.
Do you wanna jump in here at any point? Or should I read this and then you can
Go ahead. Go ahead. See, because the thing is, Jag, remember, we're supposed to be going with a uh like a schedule. You just kind of like breeze through the Britney Spears thing. We're supposed to kind of talked about it a little bit longer. That's what I thought we were gonna do.
Oh
But
no,
don't trip.
we can go back to talking about it. I'm just
No, I know you tying it in with because it's yeah, it's pretty much the same. I mean, well, not the same thing, but you know what I'm saying.
No, but
There's
I'm saying,
go
let
ahead.
me let me finish this article, and then we'll you can steer it back. The embattled rapper scored the legal win during a motion hearing Wednesday, where one of his attorneys, David Fink, his Michigan lawyer, convinced the judge to set aside the massive judgment because inmate Derek Lee Cordello Smith, who claimed Diddy pharmaceuticaled him up and essayed him at a 1997 Detroit party, failed to prove he effectively served the lawsuit in accordance with Michigan law. Judge Anna Maria Anzalone also also scrapped the temporary restraining order stopping Diddy from selling off any assets to cover damages. Hmm. Noting Diddy has a likelihood of winning the case on statute of limitations grounds because Cordello Smith claims date back to an alleged incident in 1997. With the default judgment set aside, the case will now proceed like any other lawsuit. Diddy's next expected step would be to file a motion to dismiss the case entirely. However, Cordello Smith isn't backing down and made that clear to the judge and Diddy's attorneys during the Wednesday hearing, which journalist Pamela Rice Campbell live streamed. Derek Cordello Smith declared, quote, "This isn't over, Mr. Fink. Let Mr. Combs know that this is
Mhm.
not over." Exclamation point. End quote. Another Diddy attorney, Mark Agnifilo, tells TMZ this man is a convicted felon and an sexual predator who has been sentenced on 14 counts of sexual assault and taking people against their will charges over the last 26 years. His resume now includes committing a fraud on the court from prison, as
Mm,
Mr. Combs has never heard of him.
mm, mm.
Mark Agnifilo, why haven't we read these? We never read this before, have we?
No, we need to.
His resume now includes committing a fraud on the court from prison, as Mr. Combs has never heard of him, let alone been served with any lawsuit. Never heard of him,
Mm,
never been served. Mr. Combs looks forward to having this judgment swiftly dismissed. As we reported, Diddy didn't file an answer to Cordello Smith's lawsuit, which is why the judge originally handed the inmate the $100 million judgment he was asking for. End of article. Interestingly enough, requested Pam Esquire requested no camera live stream of the case.
what?
Pam Esquire.
What about Pam Esquire?
What about Pam Esquire? Hmm? Interestingly enough, Pam Esquire requested no camera live stream of the case. Well, okay, Auntie Leah. Sorry. We won't be here much longer, but we understand.
Yeah, Auntie Leah had her live, but yeah,
I didn't know. I didn't know. This is interesting though.
yeah.
Diddy didn't know anything. Didn't never heard of it. It's
I mean,
kind of weird.
that's interesting.
That's kind of weird. Hey, Michael, hit those likes, please. People, hi guys, hi family. Been watching, dealing with the kids. TMZ, too easy. They right up, Diddy. You ain't. Listen to me. It's just kind of interesting because
Hmm.
where's that clip of Gene? Where's that clip? Where did we put that clip?
It's on the register of actions for that case. Okay.
Pam Esquire, huh? She's getting more and more interesting by the day, ain't she?
Mm-hmm.
She's based
Mm-hmm.
out of that pretty
Detroit.
girl. It Pam Esquire is based out of Detroit, isn't she?
Yep, she's in Detroit.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
And I'm trying to understand. If you was ever, I'm trying to understand because see this interview. Whoa, hold on. I never bothered to go back and look at the date when Gene sat down with Art of Dialogue
It was a
talking
year
about
ago,
the case. Yeah, it was a year
but
ago. We just automatically assumed that it was September. It was August 21st. It was August 21st. Locked up in one of them LA counties. Fair use. Fair use. Fair use. Yeah. We'll be listening to Art of Dialogue. And I don't want people to think that I think that's funny, but this is funny. he said it's sad. He said that he was invited to a party and it was girls there, it was guys there. Just things got freaky. You understand? Um, he's a bartender. He said that he was drinking Jim Beam and Diddy brought him a drink over. Tell me something. When did it become public knowledge that Derek was a bartender working for Diddy?
I don't know. Was it in that court doc? I think it was.
It was?
I think so, right? No, it wasn't. Nope,
Remember?
it wasn't.
No,
It wasn't.
no. That was something that Derek did share with us when he was talking with us that he was a
Mm-hmm.
bartender.
Mm-hmm.
That he was a bartender. Now, Gene was bodyguarding for Diddy at that time.
Mm-hmm.
He was still bodyguarding for Diddy. If Mark Agnafilo said in that he did not know who he was.
Right. But that's a
Gene
lie.
Gene was the bodyguard at that time. Gene just said, fair use, fair use. Um, Derek Lee claims that in 1997, Diddy ripped him. I know. He ripped a grown ass man. Yeah, he was a bartender. He said, and I don't want people to think that I think that's funny. What it's funny. he said, he said it's sad. He said that he was invited to a party and it was girls there, it was guys there. Things got freaky. You understand? Uh, he's a bartender. He said that he was drinking Jim Beam, and Diddy brought him a drink over, and then Diddy told him, "I put a little something extra in there," and he said, "I'm sorry, man." He said he woke up butt naked with his thong gone. No, he didn't say. No, he didn't say that, bro. But he said he woke up and Diddy told him he had him. He said he went. He said he went. He filed a report, but they threw it up under the cops swept it up under the rug and everything like that. So he was suing Diddy and everything like that. So he said that Diddy came to the jail and said that, hey, I'll give you $2.3 million or something like that, or 23. I don't know if it's 2.3 or $23 million to make this go away. We'll leave this alone the whole 9 years. Just like I just said, he's gonna pay. He's trying to pay people off to make things go away for them to drop their suits and everything like that. You know what I mean? And if he does that, they civil suit, drop them, make them go away. What would it take? So this particular dude said that Diddy was trying to sell properties and sell things and stop him from getting his money, and I didn't understand that. But the judge found some validity in what he was saying and said, "Yo, I'm gonna give you a 90-day restraining order against him from selling anything until you get all your paperwork in correct, because Diddy was served in the whole 9 yards." And as it was said that Diddy and his representative did come to the jail. So if the guy didn't have no lawsuit, if the guy wasn't, if his stuff wasn't truthful, why would they entertain it? The judge entertained it, Diddy lawyers do entertain it, and Diddy entertained it. So it may be some truth to it. Pause. What are we listening to right now?
Gene Deal.
Yeah, but what? What are we listening to? Because this interview was published August 21st
Of 2024, right?
of 2024. The default judgment didn't go in until, what did Derek say? Like around the 8th or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
TMZ ran TMZ ran to the presses on the 10th, the 12th, and the 18th. Gene got a lot of information. This is all before Diddy was arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Fair use. Credit goes to the art of dialogue.
But this dude is ripping grown men. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, we can laugh at it, but it sounds like it's true. I'm looking at it right now, and he did go to prison, and he offered the inmate 2.3 million to settle the case. So that's what the paperwork said, and the judge must have thought he has.
That's what the paperwork said. So, if that's what the paperwork said, and they're talking about this in August,
Hmm.
I don't know. It kind of feels like we might need to go back and listen to a few things
Yeah.
because I think we missed something. Exactly. And what interview did Gene watch? Because when was Derek granted the restraining order? I thought he was
That was
granted the restraining order when he won.
no, it was before
It was
he
before
won.
he. Okay. It's gonna make it's starting to make the information that we've seen. What paperwork? Paperwork, his friend. He said he was looking at the paperwork. We're not gonna put it on one person. Let's play it again. Fair use. Credit goes to the art of dialogue. August 21st, 2024. 444 in the building. We could use 200 more likes. I wish you guys wouldn't make this so difficult.
Interview that they had. Derek Lee claims that in 1997, Diddy raped him. I know. He raped a grown ass man.
Yeah, him laughing is real fucked up, man.
And I don't want people to think that I think that's funny, but this is funny. he said, he said it's sad. He said that he was invited to a party and it was girls there, it was guys there. Things got freaky. You understand? Uh, he's a bartender. He said that he was drinking Jim Beam and Diddy brought him a drink over. And then Diddy told him, I put a little something extra in there. And he said, uh, I'm sorry, man.
Fair use. No, this isn't the beginning of this particular interview. If anybody wants to go and see the beginning of the interview or the full interview, please feel free to go over to Art of Dialogue. Um, we've reviewed this once before, and I do believe that I attached this particular segment uh, once before, but right now this is just this one specific clip. I A couple of seconds are missing. Are you talking about 444 all over the place? You talking about from the very, 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 very beginning of this clip? Okay.
You heard about that guy that sued Diddy for 100 million? My man, I heard about it. I even watched the whole interview that they had. Um, Derek Lee claims that in 1997, Diddy raped him. I know. He raped a grown ass man. Yeah, he was a bartender. He said, and I don't want people to think that I think that's funny, but it is funny. he said, he said it's sad. He said that he was invited to a party and it was girls there, it was guys there.
Rewind.
You heard about that guy that sued Diddy for $100 million? My man, I heard about it. I even watched the whole interview that they had. Um, Derek Lee claims that in 1997.
What interview? Good question, guys. What interview?
Yeah. Yeah.
What interview? There was an interview? Whose interview? I
That's
hope
a good
not.
question.
I hope not. You know what I'm thinking.
No.
B man.
Okay.
Hmm.
Diddy raped him. I know. He raped a grown ass man. Yeah, he was a bartender. He said, and I don't want people to think that I think that's funny, but it is funny. he said, he said it's sad. He said that he was invited to a party and it was girls there, it was guys there. Things got freaky. You understand? Uh, he's a bartender. He said that he was drinking Jim Beam, and Diddy brought him a drink over, and then Diddy told him, "I put a little something extra in there," and he said, uh, "I'm sorry, man." He said he woke up butt naked with his thong gone. No, he didn't say. No, he didn't say that, bro. But he said he woke up and Diddy told him he had him. He said he went. He said he went. He filed a report, but they threw it up under the cops swept it up under the rug and everything like that. So he was suing Diddy. And
Pause. 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 Fair use. Credit goes to Art of Dialogue. Teen Deal interview from August 21st, 2024. Later, Art said that he was looking at the paperwork. He said that he was looking at the paperwork and he saw that Diddy was there on the log and had went to the jail.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't Derek say that Diddy came to see him just a couple of days before he was arrested?
Mm-hmm.
What's a couple of days? Because Gene said the exact same thing in this interview, and this was August.
Right.
And that's when it was released. Art of Dialogue. He pre-records. His videos are live. Pretty girl, please be careful with the R word. Can you please misspell it? Can you put grape? Derek said, Fink used the short jail log, which was forged, to get the case dismissed. Thank you, pretty girl. Um, there are some things that are super off. There are some things that are super off right now. Or is it just me?
Nah, nah.
And then the second that the case got dismissed, or the judgment was set aside, because it wasn't dismissed, it was set aside. But that was after Diddy got arrested.
Mm.
It still doesn't change the reality of what we saw with those papers for the land deal. Okay. Let's let's get ready to put a pin in this part.
Okay.
Um we just started releasing the beginning of this journey that we're walking through with Derek. The first installment was released today, members only, for those who are members. It's there available for you. We'll be making some stuff public shortly, but right now we're walking this journey through for those who are really here to get to the bottom of this with us. We're kind of treating this like a whodunit. Um, we've decided that the best thing to do is to step back. Yeah, we could use like 175 more likes. I'd appreciate that before we go.
Yeah, y'all gotta hit the like button. Come
Y'all
on.
gotta hit the like button. We've been here over an hour and a half. So, we're setting things into proper motion because there's so much about Derek's case that hasn't been looked at fairly. Like the simple fact that Mark Agnafilo had to jump in talking about he's a this and he's a that and he's this and he's been convicted of that and he's a fraud and he's a like there's a lot going on. But then to go through all of that and then to see the paperwork that we just got the other day. Cause like I think that's why a lot of this is kind of like mind blowing for me. Certain things are kind of mind blowing for me. And we'll get to a space where we Like, I want you to think about all of that stuff that we heard, all of the stuff that we read in the interview. Telephone restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
On October 14th, 2025, Whoopty Whoopty Woo and Whoopty Whoopty Woo requested that this office issue a restriction on the on the prisoner's ability to utilize the prisoner telephone system based on the following needs and requests of the requested parties. Inmate Cordello Smith has released transcripts of the sealed hearing of Whoopty Whoopty Woo's appearance under oath in Cordello Smith's alias name, that the transcribed hearing was placed under seal in the criminal exposure of the people of the state of Michigan versus Derek L. Moore, file number whoopty whoopty woo, jeopardizes the agreement between the parties of whoopty whoopty woo, Combs and Cordello Smith. How is there an agreement, but Diddy never heard of him? There's a lot that's not right here. We can use 150. 150 more. Come on, let's get to 500 before we get out of here, guys.
Yeah.
But let's just put a pin in that for right now, and let's just circle back. Let's circle back. We were talking about Britney Spears, and we're talking about TMZ. The intrusive manner in which they've impeded upon her life. It's funny, the things that they'll be all over, the things that they can't seem to stop talking about, the things that they can't seem to just let go. Like, who is TMZ really? Who are they really? Who are they? They're in the jail taking pictures. You know, Princess Diana, the night that she passed away, her and her paramour were being chased, or her lover were being chased by the paparazzi that night. She lost her life. That was like 30 years ago. Isn't that crazy? You would think that the world would have learned something by it, but when I think about recently what just happened, with Brittany at the restaurant and the way she was being followed and everything that was going on. People talking about she was a bad driver. People talking about she was drunk. She was there with a friend who let her get into a car and drive after she had been drinking, allegedly. Like, there's a lot going on. Yet the paparazzi was right there. Were they there? When did they start following her? Did they start following her from her house? Like, how do they end up in these positions to always, be there at the right moment to get it? Odell, you want to weigh in on this at all? Because I know you said you wanted to circle back to the Britney conversation so we could finish that and have that fully.
No, it's okay. Well, I'm this damn phone. You already know it be overheating. I'm sitting over here trying to
Cool it off.
prevent it. But yeah, The Britney Spears situation, yeah. And you were already talking about her, and then I forgot I had some good points. I done totally forgot them. Damn, that's
Well, let's
that Alzheimer's, that
stop,
old timers.
stop it. Let's see if we can jog your memory because if you do have some good points, then I'm sure they'll come back. Where we were when we were talking about Brittany was just thinking about.
Yom J. Sensual Latte. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
Um, Thinking about the intersection between Brittany and Diddy. What we were talking about is how they always got something favorable to say about the diddler. They're always there to try to clean things up, to 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 bring it on home and 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 all of that. And yet when it comes to Britney Spears, they can't ever seem to do anything. Everything is negative. It's just always pummeling down on her. They're always there at the right moment to catch the right shot at a bad moment or a moment that can be construed as terrible for her in some way, making her look like she's a danger to the public, enabling
Hmm.
people to believe, all of these terrible things. So I mean, that's kind of where we were, yeah, from Disney to
Yeah,
TMZ. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. TMZ being biased in its shows where they're doing nothing but positive content on Diddy,
Mm.
positive story on Diddy. Nothing, nothing he's done is positive. When you look at this whole case, when you especially you dive deeper and you look into the Derek Lee Cordello Smith case, nothing positive. But then they find some way to put a spin on it, and then you got Brittany, where she should be. There should be a lot of people looking out for her. It should be a lot more compassion for her, but they're dogging her out any which way they can. Even the whole situation with this, Kevin Federline book, they're very unnecessary. Like y'all had to cover that. I mean, okay, I get it, but at the same time, it's like you guys are showing your bias. You just show your bias all the time.
Well, they did this hit piece on her, but the documentary that they did on Diddy, it was all things trying to buy him grace, all things trying to. Yes, yeah. Someone just popped in the comments talking about Lou Taylor, saying Lou
Oh
Taylor
yeah.
serves for Scientology. They made her do the Vegas residency. She tried to fight it at one point. Yes, she did. And hmm,
No, go ahead.
and we also have the fact that one of the women that works along with Lou Taylor, who was dealing with Britney Spears, was also paying the rent for one of the Jane Does that Diddy was freaking off with during the trial, or one of the people that testified during the trial. Like, how I'm not understanding how all of these roads are intersecting and the law missed it. Everyone seemed to have missed it. It's just it's kind of sad. But yeah, if I go and I look up, I believe it's called the Church of California. I believe that's what it's called. Yeah, Church California, I believe that's what it is. Something like that. But Diddy is involved in this church. The Kardashians are involved in this church. Lou Taylor is involved. Yeah, Chris's church. Mm-hmm. Yep. Chris Jenner's church. You pull it up. Yeah, California Community Church. Kim Kardashian. And Diddy. Diddy was involved in this church as well.
Mm.
I mean, I just find it funny that all of these people that are attached to Diddy that made Britney's life a living hell, made her life a living hell, all work with him. And someone else had brought up another detail that I have forgotten to mention, or should I say it? There's so much when it comes to Britney. Like there's so much when it comes to her. But the night of Cassie's party, the next day, Britney had that terrible performance. Remember, at I think was it the VMAs?
Was it?
Yeah, in 2007. The Gimme More, when she did the Gimme More. Yeah, yeah. Britney Spears' worst performance was the 2007 MTV Video Music Awards, where she performed Gimme More. The performance was widely criticized for poor choreography, lack of energy, and lip syncing issues. In her memoir, Spears revealed she had a panic attack backstage, experienced costume and hair extension problems, and was exhausted from lack of sleep. You can watch a video explaining the circumstances of the 2007 VMAs. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah. Cassie was born the end of August. Her party was right before she did these VMAs. I don't understand how people aren't lining up these connections when it comes to exactly what a demon the diddler has allegedly been for so long, because at this point in time, that was almost 20 years ago, wasn't it?
Hmm.
07, 17, 2 years is next year. It's been 28. It's been 18 years since that moment in time. Don't nobody want to talk about it. Don't nobody want to talk about the damage. And then the simple fact that Lou Taylor was in her life, and then the simple fact that Lou Taylor's friend is the one that's handling the women that he's still dealing with now, and nobody's adding any of this up. There's a lot of stuff. Yeah, time flies. It's been 18 years since that happened. And TMZ, they've been there every step of the way, documenting,
Hmm.
gaslighting. Because in my opinion, what TMZ has been doing to Britney Spears should be against the law. There should have been some kind of restraining order placed against them long ago. They deserve a restraining order for
Yep.
harassing, for stalking her, for gaslighting her. The Truman Show, TMZ. It's funny. They say that about YouTube too. They call YouTube the Truman Show. I would know. They tried to do it to me, putting real people and bad actors into my life in real time to gaslight me in real time so that it could be caught on camera and they could use it for content and then people could show up and watch. That's what all of this is. Vehicular stalking, zooming in, drones all around her house. You know, the sad part about it is people talk about her children. Demi Lovato did go through something. Exactly what, I'm not sure. But in my opinion, uh, Nelly Furtado went through stuff too. Like there's a lot of people that went through stuff. Nobody ever talked about it. It's always sweep it under the rug and pretend like it wasn't that bad. Sweep it under the rug, pretend like it didn't happen. Sweep it under the rug. It's always that way. Oh, trust me, I know. The car was most definitely to prove that she was unstable. The thing is, nobody really understands what that does to your children. See, I get it.
Mm.
You know, I'll never forget some of the last moments that I spent with my son Sam and my mom with YouTubers like Marcusio and Devon, sending people to my place where we lived while we were trying to move, calling the police, calling paramedics saying that my mother was having a heart attack on the side of the road and I was abusing her. But none of that happened.
Mm.
Sending ambulances while I'm trying to get to my keys because someone took my keys and threw it all the way at the bottom as the men were taking the stuff out of my place and putting it on the curb because the whole idea was for us to go and get the truck, which I was charged with, rent the truck to put everything in there so I could get my family away from these people. All of that happened in real time. I was swatted on camera in real time. And people kept saying, oh my God, can you believe she kept asking for people to like the video and asking for people to like the video? You're absolutely right. I was asking for people to like the video because I wanted to make sure that they didn't try to move that out of the way. There's absolutely no way I was swatted the way I was swatted in DeSoto, Texas. And it did as viral as my life has been in the past 5 years, and it didn't make the news. See, that's why I kept telling them to like it in the video because I wanted to make sure that it cut through the algorithm and that they couldn't stop it because someone in the world needed to see those 10 firearms, assault rifles pointed at my head, live online, after someone called in and said that I was holding someone against their will, duct tape with a pow pow to their head. When the truth is when they came up, all they saw me with was with a teddy bear. I was forced out of the house. They confiscated things, all based off of the word of YouTubers. And they're still operating here online. So trust me, I understand this whole Truman Show thing. I've lived it for years. I've survived it for years. But why has nobody filed for a restraining order against TMZ on Britney Spears' behalf? If I were her kids, I want y'all to think about what that must be like for her kids. You love your mom, but you always got people following you. You never know when she's going to make national news. Like, the one thing that I am grateful for that Sam's not with me is that he doesn't have to experience that anymore, that he doesn't have to worry about it anymore. We go out to lunch and we got YouTubers calling the restaurant. Can't even post from your normal restaurant because someone's there spying on you, stalking you. I'm sure that doesn't make her children feel comfortable either. If they want to have time alone with their mom, so I can kind of understand why they didn't want to have anything to do with the social media aspect of it either. But that's the only media that Britney Spears gets to control. Everything else around her, it's traumatizing on every level. Because see what these paparazzi so-called people do, these media people so-called do, is that they make your life unbearable so nobody else wants to be around you. So no one that you love wants to be there. That's what they do. They make your life unlivable for anybody else that you may love or care about. And then, while you're alone, they send crisis actors and bad actors to come into your life to pretend like they care about you, to pretend like they support you, to be up in your face while they're sitting there texting, reporting everything that you're eating, everything that you're doing. Sometimes they're slipping stuff into your food. Sometimes they're slipping stuff into your drinks. Sometimes they're just gaslighting you. Sometimes they're there to coordinate where you're going to be, when you're going to be there, so that they can make sure that they have who they want to have there. I wonder exactly how many times TMZ has actually gone real world on Britney Spears, allegedly. I wonder. Because if they've done
Mm.
it to me, I can only imagine what they've done to her.
Mm.
They hire husbands, they hire boyfriends. Trust me, they all hate Odell. They can't stand him. The second that they realized they weren't going to be able to get him, to be my new handler and gaslight me half to death. He became enemy number one. Hurry up, get him away from her, get him away from her so we can get somebody else close to her so we can finish making her go crazy. And then we can put Jag into a hospital and then we can put her on lithium and we can damage her brain and then she can't remember anything anymore and then she can't look sane anymore. Because, see, that's what it's all about. The internet, the internet's peoples, they hate Oda. Isn't that right, Oda?
Yep.
So once again, what's media really? Is it meant for the sharing of good information and educating people? Or is it there to shape narratives, to surveillance people? You know, you got some people that's all down for it. You got some people that just love smiling for the cameras. And then you have some people that have been forced to learn how to because they don't have no other choice. God is with us. Psalms 91 is a good one. Look at Wendy Williams. Paparazzi used to be a favorable thing for her, and then it wasn't. Now she's playing nice again for the cameras. You know,
Mm.
say a prayer for everyone whose life has been impeded upon or been interrupted by the internet, by media, especially new media. I don't know. I tell you what I do find funny. They were so quick. TMZ was so quick to report about that case. They didn't report anything about the land deal. And they haven't had a word to say about that gold seal on those documents. Admin says the question is how many handlers exist within the music industry and TV and music and movie industry and in politics? And do they go through this in the Philharmonic orchestras,
Mm.
classical music? Honey, let me tell you something. If it has anything to do with public life, there are handlers involved. I promise you that. My my puppy came as soon as we went live and heard you.
Mm.
Oh my God, thank you so much. And love to the puppy. We're gonna get ready to get out of here. We've been here for 2 hours. Was that pretty much all we were talking about today? That was pretty
Mm-hmm.
much the gist of
Yep.
it. Just wanted to touch base,
Mm-hmm.
get to the bottom of all of this, you know. I'm just trying to figure it out. How did TMZ, how do they keep getting pictures, these illegal pictures? Because it's against the law to take pictures like these prisons, unless there's permission, which would mean this is all staged, which would mean TMZ is not only working along with law enforcement, but they're working on behalf of the diddler. That's that's not good.
Mm-mm.
She does love talking to her fans, and they probably are the closest thing to real friends that she has. That's the sad part about it. It's funny how fake people get in your life when you become a cash register or ATM for the Shluminati. It's funny. The so-called people in your life that are supposed to be real, the so-called people in your life that are supposed to love you. But see, there's always someone to say, "Hey, this is the way it works. This is what it is. This is how it goes." So, if you really want to protect her, you'll just work with us. There is that speech. So, yeah. Well, guys, we didn't make it to the 500 likes. It would have been nice. We're about 60 off.
60 or 80?
I'm sorry, 80 off. But you know what? Replay gang. Yeah, they put a lot of weirdos into my life. Y'all remember that time I got my hand on that H Tony's phone and I found all of the text messages of all of the instructions that they were giving that person on what to say, how to say it. They put that person on my bond to control my freedom. It's weird. I know, but I'm supposed to be the biggest liar in the world, right? Quiet one. Listen to me. I ain't mad at your sister, Archangel. You want to know what I'm at? It doesn't matter if they took him out intentionally. If he truly did die from pancreatic cancer, everything that this industry facilitated, all of the addiction, all of the pharmaceutical, all of the alcohol, the chain smoking, all of that, it was induced by the stress that the industry created. Like, that's the funny thing. Even if they don't directly put their hand on you, the circumstances and the things that you're forced to survive, it's like one way or another. We gonna take you. We gonna get you one way or the next day. We gonna find you. We gonna get you one way or another. We gonna take you down. We gonna get you. That's the game. That's what sucks about being the one that got away. There's not many of us. So thank y'all for being witnesses to my survival. And thank you for being supporters of what's real. You got any last words, Wolfgang Amadeus?
No, no. Just everybody have a good remainder of the rest of your day.
I'm just a regular basis. What?
What's that?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing. Michael was just joking with me about how they like to put lies in my name and say that all I do is lie or whatever the case may be. So Auntie Leah's live tomorrow. Guys, please don't forget, make sure y'all get over there. You like and share. And yeah, we got some more looking into some things. I can't believe we've never read those TMZ reports about the Derek case. That adds another layer to the timeline, doesn't it? Especially the things that we're dealing with now. What a difference a year makes. So you guys have a good night. Oh, and thank you. Thank you down there in the sippy. M-I, crooked letter I, crooked letter I, hunchback I. We used to do that when we jumped rope. So yeah, on that note, I'm Jaguar Wright. That he over there. Wolfgang Amadeus set in the West. And we'll be seeing you guys soon. Peace.